Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, 'cause I grind through.
What is going on, guys? Thank you for checking us out on another episode of the Crypto Nightcap. Here on the channel, we give you some of the most important market news as well as TA that's going to set you up for tomorrow. We're doing it every day from Monday to Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Typically, I got my man FD White on, but today we got the first sergeant himself, the man, Mr. Army Piper. What's going on, my dude?
What's up, bro? I got my nightcap.
He
That's how I'm
does.
supposed to do this, right? Grab a nightcap and show up for the show,
Oh
right? That's
no.
the game plan.
It's saying muted. Everything's showing up on my end.
Muted.
Yeah. Let's see
I
what's
don't know,
up.
guys. Let me know in the chat because I'm not muted here on my end. I don't know. Nope, I'm good. I'm even showing up green here, bro.
Yeah, everything's showing on my end. It said never mind.
Cool.
Sorry. I hear him.
Yeah. Come.
Man, come
Trade
on.
intuition.
Joe, come on, dog.
Come on, bro.
We live, baby. We're live. People are gonna watch
Damn it,
this.
Joe.
It's all good.
All right, cool. Hey, so hey, thanks for having me on your show, TradeFly. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have you, man. It's you're the reason I'm here. Hey, welcome to your channel, brother. How you doing?
It might be my channel, but it's your show. So this is I am just I'm a guest today. I'm enjoying this. I got my drink. I'm chilling, looking at the charts, watching that ton trade that I called this morning,
You did,
and
and
just
I didn't
relaxing.
listen. I
I
didn't
did.
listen. I definitely ignored you on that one. I was like, "Yeah, I think Bitcoin's pulling back." You're like, "It's at the bottom of a channel though." But I'm sure it's something you can talk about here in a bit. But with
Of
that,
course.
let's go ahead because we like to keep it quick here. Try to respect your time. Nice little 30-minute shot out here end of the day, get you a little recap of what's going on, set you up for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and start getting into some of the news. I'm going to bring it on over, and the first thing we got up is BlackRock. And I'm going to kick it over to Piper because this is one he actually brought to the table.
Yeah, so looking at this today, guys, as of today, BlackRock and Fidelity have increased their Ethereum or their Bitcoin holdings for the ETF by a combined total of 504,000 Bitcoin. That's $33.8 billion total. But just today alone, BlackRock spot ETF for Bitcoin added $523 million of inflows today. So they were definitely buying any pullback that hit today. And you remember, it's demand that drives their buy. So because they have to buy as it's needed and sell as it's sold off. So guys, that is a lot of people picking up that Bitcoin ETF. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 500. That is quite a bit. Gosh, I think the last one I saw was only a couple 100 million. So, and that was over, I want to say a couple day period. So that's looking good. That's definitely some bullish news. Next thing we got up here is Kamala Harris. That is going to be more than likely your Democratic nominee. I know there's still a process that has to happen here, but what do we know about Kamala and her stance on crypto? I'm gonna give you a hint. Nothing.
big goose egg.
Nothing. All right,
Big goose
because
egg. That's what we know.
she has not really verbalized anything when it comes to crypto and her stance. Now, is she likely to follow her party? Is she likely to follow kind of the Biden train? I would say yes, but you never know, man. She could flip the script and have a pro crypto stance. So there's still kind of hope there that that's out there because let's face it, right? If she's going to see that, Donald is pushing towards a pro crypto stance now, it might be advantageous for her to maybe adopt that stance as well. So we'll kind of see. I wouldn't dig my heels in on it personally because everybody is in the business of making money. And my understanding is she is a savvy investor as well. I know that might be a little insider stuff, but is what it is. So with that, oh, there's one other thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't have it up, but you know, the
Well, I want to
letter.
talk on that real fast,
Yeah.
if you don't mind. So I dropped a link there in the chat just now.
Okay.
It's for standwithcrypto.org. If you guys have never been there, if you cut over to my screen, I don't know if you've got my screen share ready to go there or not, but you can actually look up on all of the politicians, and you can see, you know, what their stance is on crypto, what their role is, if they're your state, so on and so forth. Like Cynthia Loomis, obviously at the top, strong supporter. You know, people like Donald Trump, strongly supportive now. He wasn't that way on there before. That's now on here. But if you go in here and you type in Kamala Harris, you will see that her stance is pending, not available. She has made zero public statements ever about crypto, guys. So that's what we know. When he says a big goose egg, there's a site, and I dropped it there for you. Go check out your state and see what your representatives, your senators, what their stance is on crypto, and be aware of that, because that stuff matters. If crypto matters to you, that should matter to you, and that's a good way to take a check and peep what those people what they believe with crypto. So that's what I just wanted to share that TradeFly.
Yeah,
So
no, absolutely. That's definitely a good piece or a good little nugget there. Maybe we will drop that in our Discord. So for you that are part of our Discord, come on over. That'll give you a reason to come over. And let's go to the chat. I haven't even called out anybody in the chat yet besides Joe, because he's just, you know, muting, screaming here. Amy loves crypto. You know what? I keep saying Amy loves crypto. Can you just change your name? It'd be easier for me. Amy lives
no,
crypto. Uh,
she lives it.
no, she loves it. Damn it. All right. So she's like, I may have mentioned this in a video or two. I believe you because you are wicked smart. Red Man's in here. He's saying, bit BTC. I don't even know. I don't even know. But what's up, dude? How you doing? Alexander G, best mind in the house. She's in here. Eric Wallen, Trade Intuition. We've already given you some love. BC Port Court, Blackie Chan, how you doing? And Justin Eubanks, thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate you. Caffeinated Crypto, how you doing? Hola, my friend. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Warrior 4588, my fellow aviator, my man. Let's see here. And I think
Love it.
that is what I got. All right, next segment we got here is Piper's favorite. Yeah. The old FUD alert with Elmer Fudd, baby. All right, so check it out. Mt. Gox transferred 0.021 BTC to a new wallet 10 minutes ago, and this was earlier today, I believe. And basically what they're saying is, hey, like this S is getting real, right? So it's showing you on the blockchain, and what are the three? Do you remember the three exchanges that are going to be part of it? I know. I'm trying to think. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now.
KuCoin, and I don't remember the other ones. No.
Yeah, but anyways, they're basically showing you like, hey, like it's basically a test transaction. They're basically going to start these repayments. And I know a couple of them already announced that they're going to be in the next couple of weeks, and then other ones said they have at least 90 days. I remember reading about that. I just can't remember which exchanges it was. But just know that this is coming. We keep talking about like what you felt so far, like in terms of a pullback, was straight FUD when it came to Mt. Gox, right? Because the actual repayments hadn't started yet. So that was almost just kind of a precursor. Just know that that's still out there. Now, I'm not saying that price is going to dump. We've had definitely some arguments on both sides. Piper's brought some things to the table of why it might be more advantageous to hold on to that crypto, even though there's like some tax benefits there too. But it just depends if you claim the loss, if you didn't claim the loss, if you're just going to diamond hands through this. But there's definitely, you know, both ways. I'm of the belief that many people are probably going to sell off because they've been waiting a long time to have that money back, and they're in the positive. So why not take that long-term capital gains, because that's what that's going to be, and then, you know, go ahead and cash out, buy something nice. So, you know, just throwing that out there. What do you think? What do you think, Piper? What's your thoughts on that?
I like Ernest's idea. Just hold on to it, borrow against it, never pay capital gains tax
Yeah,
on that Bitcoin again. So that's
he's not the
you know.
90% though. He's like the 2% in my mind.
Well,
Like,
if the 90% would watch our show
Yeah.
in the morning, they would get this information and they might be able to become the 1%. So I'm just saying, um, you know,
So
it's
Eric
a lot of
Wallen said
Bitcoin.
Kraken. That is one of them, but this wasn't the
Oh,
one.
Kraken. That was it. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Not
one of
KuCoin.
them. There's
Kraken.
three. I think there's three main exchanges. I can't remember.
Scamwick Wallet is best.
Yeah, it's Ballin' Wallen, dude. He's got his own chart.
All in wallet.
All right, right on. Let's go ahead and get into the market pulse. So first thing we got up here is the global crypto market cap is at 2.44 trillion. That's down 1.47 over the last day. 24-hour trading volume is at 87.25 billion, which makes for a 32% increase, which is pretty nice. And then Bitcoin dominance currently sitting at 54.64%. That's an increase over 0.45% over the last day. All right, looking at the fear and greed, that's sitting at 64. We are now trending into the greed area. So, nothing too much to talk about there. We've been flirting kind of with greed, neutral over the past few days here after we had that extreme, well, I think it was extreme. It wasn't fear, but I think it was definitely fear. Was it extreme
It
fear?
was no, it was greed. What are you talking about? Yesterday?
No, no, no. When we had that pullback, it was sitting in
Oh,
fear
the
there for a
pullback.
minute. Yeah. It was like,
I
it
don't
was
know
in
if
the
we hit
20s.
extreme fear or not.
I remember seeing
Yeah,
it
it
in like
was
the
it was
20s.
close.
It
It
got
was
low.
really close. I think 25 was extreme fear, and we hit fear at 28 or something like that.
Okay, yeah, there you go. That sounds about right. All
I'm
right,
I'm
so
seeing the nightcap. I'm seeing the nightcap glass in the chat. I love it. It's great.
there it is. There it is. I forgot about that. Dude, let me see some more of those. Flood the chat with the old nightcap glass. We aka Piper worked hard on that this weekend. So, all right, going down the top 10 coins here. Bitcoin is up 4.71% over the last 7 days. Let's just go down to 24 hours, right? That's what we're about here. So it's down 0.97. Ethereum is down 0.236. BNB is down 2.11%. Solana down 2.2%. XRP is bucking the trend. It's up 2.71%. It's at 61 cents. But remember, that's the range where it's happy at. It is a stable coin now. Kidding. That's not true, but kind of true. All right, Dogecoin is down 1.47%. Toncoin is down 2.78%. That's number 9. I think it was as high as number 8. Cardano 88 is down 4.57%. It's been ugly for Cardano here recently. AVAX sneaking up to number 11. It's down 1.66%. And Tron, Shiba Inu, Polkadot just kind of wrapping out. And Chainlink down in number 15. Let's look at the crypto bubbles. It is nice and red over the last 24 hours here. Some of the big movers that we know of, Bonk, Not, Ina, all not looking all that great. What else are we still looking at? Gala's down 7%. Maker's down 7.4%. So a lot of red on the board here over the last 24 hours. Only thing really bucking a trend here is Helium, which is up 5.3%, and BGB, and that's barely up. That's only up about 1%. XRP is
I
up
got a miner.
2.6%. What's up?
I got a miner right over there mining HNT helium.
Oh yeah, really? Dude,
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on my miner for Cass. That should be here real soon, according to Keeper.
Rex
So
put one at my place because he has 3 of them, and you can't have them overlap.
okay,
They have to be spread out. So he had a 3rd one to set up, and he's like, "Can I set it up at your house?" Yeah, bring it over here. I'm
yeah.
taking the profits though.
Hey man, hey, you gotta pay electricity, don't you?
That's right. That's right.
That's right. All right, right on. Let's go over to the liquidation heat map. So I'm going to put it on the weekly, right? We're going to take a little bit of a zoomed out look here first. You can see where a lot of the liquidity is down here after kind of a nice move up. So it basically just left this liquidity down there as it was moving up. But one of the things that I noticed is that as it was moving up, people kept trying to short and they kept getting wrecked on the way up as price action was moving up and right. And it almost looks like it lost a little bit of esteem, right? Like it's like it beat them into submission because you see how hot this was, right? You see some of the brighter spots on the map, a little darker, kind of dull, a little bit more here, but it's dull. Now look up here. It's kind of dull, right? Like you don't see as hot of spots. Now, I don't know that this is going to be something to really pay attention to, but maybe it is, right? So maybe like once they know that they've kind of gotten their money's worth as prices moved up, maybe they're done with that move. Maybe it's time to come back down and get some of this hot stuff down here. So we'll see. That's just a zoomed out look. Not saying it's really going to go that way, but just know that it's there. On the daily, though, look, people are coming in heavy short on the daily. So this is short term. It's not as much liquidity. I mean, you're talking about $100 million is what makes this hot. So that's not quite the same as what you see on the weekly. Now you're talking about $500-600 million. So just understand here, what you're seeing. But if the maker was going to do a quick little liquidity grab and try to, have a little scam wick up top, that's the closest alligator to the boat. So be on the lookout. 68.4, somewhere in that range, 68.300. That is definitely well within play. And we'll look at the charts and see if that kind of lines up with anything. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Army Piper, and I'm going to let him knock out some TA here first.
Awesome. Well, obviously, we got to take a look at Bitcoin first here. So, taking a look at Bitcoin, guys, we are we had a breakout above this channel that we've showed this a couple of times here. There's a falling channel here, and it is a bullish pattern. We got a breakout on it here yesterday. I'm looking at a daily chart here. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a little bit, and then I'll bring this down to the 4 hour. We're top down this baby. But we did wick down to the point of control, pulled back up yesterday on the news of and then he said, I do endorse Kamala Harris, and everybody got bullish again. So, the unknown scared everybody. The known, being Kamala, rallied everybody again. So pulled back up. We closed that candle above the top trend line of that falling channel. And today's candle, literally right there, like we're getting a clean bounce on it. I'll zoom it in. You guys can see you can't get any more on the line than that right there. So it's looking pretty good. Let's bring this down to the 4 hour and we'll show what's going on here. You can see today, this morning, we did have that pump up. We pulled back down, retested the 786, which is the top of the bottom of the platinum pocket, to show you guys those fibs. I'll go ahead and bring that in. There you go. There's your golden pocket down there. 786, 887. That's your platinum pocket. And so right now we got the good test today on that 786, and now we are pulling back up above that trend line of that fallen pattern. As of right now, I would consider this testing the breakout on that falling channel. Taking a look at the oscillators, they're really flat, like really flat. I haven't seen it this flat in a long time on the 4 hour. Going back, like it's for months. There's nothing as flat as what we're seeing right now. So I think a lot of this uncertainty has to do with the PCE. Everybody's really waiting to see what happens with that PCE report coming out, which I believe is on Friday. As of right now, though, guys, sideways, nothing big going on the oscillators, giving us any type of indication, and we're holding bullish support here on Bitcoin. So, did you want me to go ahead and jump over to Toncoin and talk about that one real fast, or
No, I'm
did you
going
have
to
anything to
go ahead
say
and just
about Bitty
touch
Boy?
on Bitcoin, and then I'll pass it right back to you.
Cool. Yeah. That's pretty much what I'm seeing on Bitcoin, man. We're looking strong on support, testing that line, that breakout line, and as of right now, looking like we potentially are going to be heading up. But we could go sideways to cool all of these oscillators off, and that would be fine with me too, as long as we hold right here above 67,366 on that platinum pocket.
Right on, right on. Cool. So coming over to my chart here, one of the things that I'm looking at on the daily, so we kind of talked about this area down here. So there's a lot of confluence down here with some of the moving averages, the dynamic reactor, mainly on the 4 hour though. So let me go to that so I can kind of recap what we talked about last time here. But I saw a lot of confluence down here, right? Look at all that, just all lining up. And so that was a target area for me. So you can see I did set an alert there, never quite made it down there though. The bigger area that it ended up catching was right here. So you can see that it was support with a breakdown, came up for a retest, and ultimately it had its larger breakdown or movement to the downside, where it ultimately found support on that channel that I had mentioned. All right, that channel has been holding up for quite some time. So it did find support on that. And then we had a major move to the upside. Now, I can't really say what exactly caused that, but it came all the way down to, in the 53s, right on top of where we've kind of been looking at, right? I actually had a purchase order at 52,250, and unfortunately I missed that. But It's all right. But we had a huge move up and right, and you can see one of these trend lines, right? This trend line's been active since I think February. Actually, I think it actually goes way further back. But it was resistance. But what you see is the pressure building up. This is one thing you want to pay attention to, especially on the 4 hour. When you see this, where the channel is really going up and right, and it just kind of keeps retesting, especially when you have a trend line that goes way back. Make note of that. Keep an eye on that, right? Because it's showing you that there's pressure that's really pushing it to the upside. You keep pushing on a trend line as resistance. Sometimes, well, I'm not going to say sometimes, but a lot of times you're going to see it break down. And then what do you look for? You look for it to get on top of that. And that's kind of what we saw here. We got on top of the trend line as well as the dynamic reactor. And then we continue that movement up and right. So one of the key areas I was looking for, minus this here, we did talk about that a little bit, was the point of control as well as this area of resistance, right? And that just kind of goes back left on the chart. Point of control is obviously the volume profile for the whole range. But what is interesting, right, is that we may have gotten on top of that and it may have flipped from what I was perceiving as resistance into support, right? That's one of the things you always want to look for, is that resistance areas flip into support. That could be opportunities to go long. Now, what I don't like about this, there's only a couple things that I don't like, but I have to point those out on the 4 hour. All right, prophecy is saying market dumps, right? So the algorithm is now saying that it could be a little bit bearish here in the near term future. But coming down here, and Piper talked about this, is the RSI, or the prime oscillator, is coming down and right. All right, so that's not typically what I like to see when I get into an entry. All right, so what I like to see is, if we have multiple retests of an area, I like to see this actually trending up and right. So therefore, for me, with my strategy, I can be absolutely wrong. All right. So it could very well go up and right, but my own personal rules, I like to see this trending up and right before I get into a trade. Therefore, I leave this alone. All right. Not unless we continue to trend or test this area, and then I start seeing that where we reset. So if this comes down a little bit harder, we get an opportunity for a reset, then that could be an opportunity for an entry. But with that being said, we definitely have the opportunity to come up here where there's resistance at the 2021 high, and it's respected that area of price action for quite some time. Obviously, it's been in place since 2021. But when you come back and look at the chart, you want to see, like, hey, how did we react when we came up to those areas? And you're looking at the 4 hour, right? You can see, like, it gets on top of here, it's acting as support. I mean, there's just all types of hits of support and resistance multiple times in that area. Now, I'm not saying that it's a super strong area and there's no way we're ever going to get by it, but what I would expect is some price action off of that area to give you an opportunity for a potential scalp or an intraday trade. So that's what I'm personally looking at for Bitcoin. That key area is at about 69,000. That's a 2021 high. And then your lower area for support, your point of control, really this area right here that I have highlighted in red at about 64 or 66.5 is your area I'm looking at for support. So again, let the price action come to you. I wouldn't really play it here in the middle. I would make a decision once it gets to one of those areas, or if it gets on the bottom side of this and you see that retest, and then you see the RSI or the prime oscillator continuing down and right, if you see something like this where it gets on the bottom, then you could be looking for a move down and right for a potential short opportunity, but you still want to see this going down and right as well. So there's a couple things for you to look at. Kind of be patient on the charts, let it come to you. But that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. And now I'm going to pass it back to Piper.
Yeah, let's take a look at ton. We talked about this morning on the morning show. Towards the end, there's also a short today. So if you haven't seen the short, go check out the short. But what I've been watching here on it is, and I'm looking at a daily right now, guys, and we've kind of got this ascending wedge here. That we were hitting this morning. I said, this is a good point for a long right here. Set your stop loss just past the point of control. You do have the dynamic reactor on the daily coming up in here. That's below, that stop loss would be below the 100-day. And all we really have is the 50-day exponential moving average sitting above us. So if we bring this in on the 4 hour, I'll show you guys why I went into this trade. Was this bottom trend line. I said, this is a good entry. And even today with the pullbacks that we saw, you saw the Bitcoin candles, like big pullbacks on that 4 hour. Guys, ton didn't really drop hardly at all. It's actually higher than what it was this morning when I entered in on that trade. And as of right now, I believe that, let me take a look here. I can tell you what it is. It's not huge, but it's been pretty much sideways all day long on that support. I'm up about 4% right now. So definitely watching for this level to hold here on that trend line. But when we go down and we take a look at the oscillators, I want to show you guys what I'm seeing down there. On the 4-hour oscillator, we're sitting on oversold 2 blocks of it. We're starting to get a green candle here way below the 30% RSI, relative strength index. And if we jump this over to the daily, you'll see that it does look like we have this downside movement coming here on the Oscillator Pro. But look how sideways this has pretty much been on the daily for going back to 9 July here, just sideways. So we can get these little waves, and this next wave on the daily comes up a little bit, which then gives us this to give us momentum for that breakout. So I'm watching for this to at least hit the point of control here, which would be about $7.83. It's not a huge move, but overall, I'm looking to pick up on like about 8-to-1 risk to reward ratio here. So Toncoin is holding strong on a very long trend line. Even if we do not get the breakout here, guys, we have definitely done something that I love seeing, and that is higher lows. So
You gonna sing for me?
as Alex
You
O
gonna sing
Crypto
for me?
says, that song by Whitney Houston, give me that higher low. No, shout out to Alex O, man.
Nice, nice. Cool. Well, I'm going to bring it on over to the nightcap. We got a couple things we're going to talk about here, but there was a question that was actually asked in the chat, and that was by Alex O. And he said he wants to hear what we think about the Ethereum ETF launch tomorrow. So for me personally, I'm not going to
How ironic.
yeah, I'm not gonna like predict is this happening, is it not happening. I honestly haven't read up on it to know, any context there, and it'll probably be a surprise, right? It usually is. They probably have to submit some documents multiple times. That's just the way the game is played. But what I will say, I'm looking for something pretty similar to Bitcoin. I think we've had this initial run up where people are trying to front run it, kind of get ahead of it, push the price up. But what is it going to do? I don't think it's going to do much when the ETF actually hits the market. Again, I've kind of talked about my thoughts on that. I don't think it's the smart play to get into an Ethereum ETF because you can't stake it, but that's just a personal opinion. It does open it up to more people, and I understand that. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little bit of a pullback, just like you did with Bitcoin before we ultimately see that run up. Is it going to push up to an all-time high? I think that's definitely well within play. If Bitcoin continues to consolidate or itself pushes up and right, I think an all-time high for Ethereum is very much in play. And I think that will stem somewhat in part because of the ETF. But that is my thoughts on it. Piper, what do you think?
So I actually saw a thing earlier where Grayscale sent $1.01 billion worth of Ethereum to Coinbase Prime.
I think I got something here.
So I think it's absolutely coming tomorrow. We're going to have ETFs start selling tomorrow. When you got $1 billion move going on there, that's a lot of Ethereum to be moved to Coinbase Prime from Grayscale, right? But a lot of people are saying this is a sell off to sell off like they did Bitcoin. Remember back
Yeah,
when Bitcoin ETFs launched and Grayscale sold all that Bitcoin? A lot of people are saying that's what's going on with this Ethereum, but you actually have it up there. That is a portion taken out, a segment of the S1 for Grayscale, and it actually discusses all the legal jargon included there about how they have to do a one-to-one of moving this to be bought back for the as needed for the custody purposes of the Ethereum that's used for the shares of the trust. And so this here says that they have to move it and then take it back as they're bought because they are not the custodian, and there has to be a third party custodian per the S1, which they
yeah,
chose, like everyone else did,
that's right.
Coinbase. So yeah, so I think as of right now, this $1 billion causing a lot of fudge. Throw the FUD alert up on that one. But yeah, I think it's causing a lot of FUD. People are scared that this is getting ready to be dumped, $1 billion worth of Ethereum. But according to this document, this is just part of their one-to-one storage for custody purposes. So
yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, because yeah, they could have stocked up on the Ethereum prior to just knowing that this was coming down the pipe. So I think Bitcoin was one of those things where it's like they didn't really know still if that was going to happen, right? So that's, I don't know, maybe that's part of the thought process there. But with that being said, we are at 6 p.m. my time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it looks like
I got a
Piper has
closing statement for you.
one
Hold on,
more
I got a
thing.
closing
All right,
statement.
what do you got? What do you got, man?
If you think about how Bitcoin, how it's being bought up hundreds of millions of dollars, like today, just today alone, $523 million worth, right? What does that look like when institutions start buying up that much in Ethereum when you consider the gas fees and the burning mechanism for deflationary Ethereum? I think that looks pretty interesting, and no one's really talked about that yet. When they start doing that massive buys and the gas fees are pumping like crazy, that triggers that burn mechanism on Ethereum network. And that's where it goes deflationary. I think it could be pretty interesting with the ETF. I don't think it's going to be bought into as much as Bitcoin, but we don't need it to be as much as Bitcoin. We just need a lot more than what we typically see for retail. And that will put Ethereum on a massive deflationary track. So
Yeah, yeah, no, that's definitely an interesting thought, man. So it'll be cool to see what happens. Let's see. One last thing I did want to point out to you guys here. Let's see if I actually have it up. There we go. Billy Goat Tales. Make sure you guys tune into that tomorrow. That's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then to all our friends that are here on the show as well, Amy Lives Crypto, Alex O, they all have great channels. Blackie Chan, I think he's doing some videos. He's doing some content now as well. I know he was on with us. And then we got any other, no, Trade Intuition Joe. So check him out. And I think that is it as far as the other content creators. But I know Redman, you know, he's with Billy Goat or Billy and that team, and it's just a phenomenal team. So I love giving them a little shout out, giving them a little love. They got Magic Internet Money coming on, as well as Pianomatic B on Tuesday. So that one should be interesting. That one should be good. I'm definitely going to try to make that. So much love to you guys. And with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. If you guys enjoy the content, as always, like and subscribe. Piper, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you. Thanks
thanks, man.
for,
Appreciate you.
yeah, thanks for making this happen, man. I enjoy it. It's a quick half hour, but you guys have a good one. And looks like Piper's giving you an old toast. I got to work tonight, baby, so I can't do it. So other than that, I'll talk to y'all. I'm out.
Play that jam.
Oh, it's coming.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.